everybody. Welcome back to 5-Digit Films, the channel for all things amputee. Today, I'm going to share something special with you, right here in my basement, the home of outdated furniture and washing machines. So today, I'm going over one of the very first things that was modified for me. And this is an item that I hold very near and dear to my heart. It's very important to me, but not for the reason you might think. Today I'm going to be telling you about my Xbox and how it is that I'm able to play. When I was in the hospital, one of the very first things that I realized was that I wasn't going to be able to play my Xbox anymore. That's not really a big deal to me. I don't necessarily have a lot of time to play, but when I did play, I was playing with my young cousin. Occasionally he comes over to my house and we play Xbox together, and we were playing on my old Xbox 360, just local gameplay, not online, and we had fun with it. It was something that we could create a memory together. We had fun together, and he really enjoyed doing it with me. Every time he came over, that's what he wanted to do. And as I was laying in my hospital bed, it dawned on me, I'm not going to have a left hand to work the controller anymore. And just like when I thought about my ability to ride, I started crying. It hurt me. Well, my brother-in-law, Craig, was in the room when I came to this realization. And Craig is a lot like me. He's a tinkerer. He's into electronics. Actually, he's a little bit better with electronics, robotics, automation, and computers than I am. And I consider myself to be pretty savvy in those areas. So the gears immediately started turning in Craig's head. How could I make Bobby able to play Xbox again? So fast forward to Christmas that year. Remember, I got injured on December 6th. So I came home from the hospital. Now we're having family Christmas at the end of the month. Didn't expect anything from anybody. But Craig comes in with several boxes. And he says they're for me. I was like, whoa man, you didn't have to get me anything. He said, no, I really did. Guess what Craig had gotten me? Craig had gotten me an Xbox One, an adaptive controller for the Xbox One, 2 regular controllers, and he had gone and made a custom foot controller for me. I was blown away. I couldn't believe the generosity that he had just shown me, just so I could play Xbox again. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of how this works. I really wanted to get him in on the video too and have him explain this for you, but I'm not exactly sure when he would be able to do that. So I just went ahead and made this video myself. Okay, so here is what makes all of the magic happen. My Xbox adaptive controller. It only works with the Xbox One, and what you have to do is you have to pair it up with your standard controller, and there's a way you can do that. There's YouTube videos out there that'll show you how to do it. But what Craig had done, as you can see, I have some wires sticking out the back here, and there's a bunch of 3.5 millimeter jacks like you would have for your auxiliary port on the radio of your car. Looks like this. And all they are is 2-wire plugs. Each one of the ports on the back side of this controller correspond with a button on the controller. These 2 black pads are your A and B buttons. You have your directional pad, and you have your start menu and stuff like that over here, and of course your power button. But this adaptive controller is really neat. You can use it by itself, or you can do what Craig did and wire up a secondary controller. So the way all this works is the adaptive controller is a companion controller to your main Xbox One controller. And then you have the ability to plug in other buttons that correspond to buttons on your main controller. So you have to have a regular Xbox One controller for the adaptive controller to work. And then you can add on to that adaptive controller like I'm about to show you. All right, so here's my adaptive controller. I went ahead and shut off all of the lights so that you could see that Craig even went the extra step and backlit this entire controller for me. And since I'm a Harley guy, he went ahead and stenciled in the Harley Davidson motorcycles emblem into the foot controller to add a little bit of coolness. He really went all out when he designed and made this. And for the first revision of it, I would say he did a stellar job. I'm able to play pretty well, and it looks cool. Everything works great. So as you can see, I have a series of 5 buttons that I press with my feet. They're just typical arcade style buttons, but they work really well. They're easy to find with my feet, and they're easy to press with my feet. And they're robust enough that I don't have to worry about being careful or breaking the button, and they're big enough that I can easily press it with my foot. I don't have to be as precise with my foot. On the back side here, you can see that he just put some LED strip around to create the backlighting effect. And then you can see the back side of each one of these buttons, and he routed the cables out and through, made a nice wooden frame, put feet on the frame. Again, he did a very nice job putting this together, especially for the limited amount of time that he had to plan this build and make it work. He's a very smart guy. All right, so now the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm going to actually give you guys some gameplay. First, I will show you from my perspective so that you can see what I'm doing with my feet and what I'm doing with my hands as I play the game. And then I'll turn the camera back toward the TV and try to get a little bit of both what's going on the TV and what's going on with the footboard. What I will tell you though is right off the bat, I just hold the controller in my hand and rest it on my leg, and I move my person around with my thumb, use the X, Y, B, and A buttons with my thumb, basically just like you would if you had 2 hands with the right side of the controller. The difference being what I'm doing with my feet. The buttons that I'm using the most as I'm playing Call of Duty is the button to aim down my scope and the buttons to move forward and backward. So I've just got this game set on a local play, and I will show you guys how I operate the controllers. All right, let's get this thing started. So as you'll see, I'm not going to do anything with the adaptive controller. The only reason the adaptive controller is here is so that I can use my foot controller. So right now, I'm using my right foot to walk forward, and I just clicked the button to make myself run. I'd also just got killed, so this is going to be kind of difficult. I've got myself 1 against 17 on a computer-generated match right now. So right now I'm going to pitch a tent and do some camping. So you'll see I'm using my left foot over here to hold my sight up and do some aiming. Oh, I just got whacked. Somebody came around the corner that I didn't see. Do some running again with my left foot. Not doing so good, guys. Ooh, triple kill. Not bad. Again, I'm still running the match 1 against 17, but now you guys hopefully will be able to see a little bit of what's going on my screen as well. Hopefully I can go ahead and win this match real quick. All right, who says camping isn't a good strategy? Alright, so there you have it, folks. That is how I play Call of Duty on my Xbox One with my combination of my adaptive controller and my custom-made foot controller. Now, Craig and I actually have plans on doing a little bit of a collaboration later and working on the next revision of this foot controller. Again, as I said earlier, he did a great job with this one, but we want to see if we can improve upon it a little bit. One issue that I'm coming across right now is that I have no way to control the left stick of my controller with accuracy and do it effectively, that is. I can kind of rest my stump on it or move it around with my hook, but the problem that I run into is that the motions are very jerky and often end up, if you've played Call of Duty, you know that's how you strafe and look around, and your movements have to be very precise. So what we're thinking about is on the end of this adaptive controller, there's a spot where you can plug in an analog joystick. And what we had thought about doing was setting it up so that we could fasten the joystick down and then have kind of like a goalpost set up on the joystick that I can just rest my prosthetic in and move it around that way. So that way the joystick would give me a longer throw to make less movement and hopefully give me a much more effective control of that left stick. If I can do that, really there's not a whole lot else that we need to do, though we might add a few more buttons to the foot controller and maybe change things up a little bit with that and try to make it just that much better. So if that's something that we end up doing and you guys are interested in it, I could actually show that project on Area 52. Again, this is more of the technical channel, so I could show you guys the build project for that on Area 52. If that's something you're interested in, leave a comment down below and let me know. And let me know what you guys think. If you would, just go in the comments and give Craig some love. He did an amazing thing, very selfless gesture that he did for me, and it's something that I can enjoy for the rest of my life. In fact, just a couple days ago, Craig and I were sitting down here for hours playing the same kind of matchup that you just saw on the screen, and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos that I'll have going on later. I've got a lot of information to go through with you guys, and we'll catch you next video. Have a great day, everybody.